Welcome back to One More Tune. We're going to go through an eventful weekend.
That was a depressing welcome back to One More Tune.
Should we try it again?
It's like going to the therapist stuff at welcome back.
No, we'll keep it in. We'll keep it rolling.
Okay.
We'll call it a cold open.
Yep.
There's rough times and there's smooth times.
Burnout edition.
Burnout 3.0.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not really. It's not that bad. I had a busy weekend.
Nice.
With
I've seen.
Thursday, pub gig, Friday, private party.
Yep.
Which went well, but one thing I've been tripping up over multiple times this weekend. And
Cables.
Equipment, yeah. Equipment issues I've been having this weekend. And it's kind of made me, you know, when you can't get like a stable foot and you need a bit of like an easy time at the start of a gig to get into it and find your mojo
100%.
and like take over, right? So I'm playing on Friday night and I'm setting up one of my big speakers. I'm only in a sort of like small bar-y function room kind of thing.
Okay. Is this for a private?
Yeah, 30th birthday private party.
Right. Yeah. I've seen the online selfie of you with the.
That
people.
Was Saturday night.
That was Saturday night.
Different private party on Saturday night.
Jumping the gun. I apologise.
That one went smoothly. The one on Friday went smoothly as well. It's just when in my setup, I'm setting things up and I'm doing a little sound check and there's like weird fizzing and like crackling and almost like electrical sounding noises.
Right. Okay.
Coming out my tweeter in my big speaker.
Yeah.
And I've got no idea what's causing it. So I'm like,
quite new as well. Isn't it? It's quite new.
Yeah.
So
I'm playing a bit of guitar, trying to get the sound right.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it kind of the noise comes out normal and then it fizzes.
Okay.
After the sound's been projected, right? So I'm thinking, it's my guitar or a cable or something on my pedal board.
Yeah.
If you think about the number of things that have to be connected in order with power.
Trying to troubleshoot as well what it is.
5 minutes before you're going to start
Imagine
playing.
doing that at a stadium, like,
But you just have like a second rig.
Yeah.
100%. You just have like a sort of dummy behind ghost rig or whatever.
Yeah.
But so I had a spare speaker in my car, so it's like I have a spare version of everything for every gig. So if something like this happens, it's never going to happen that I can't play.
Yeah.
Unless I turn up to a bar without a mic stand.
I wasn't going to say it, but
it's a different kettle of fish.
Yes.
So I'm trying to mess around with like figuring out my pedal board.
Yeah.
I realise it's not just my guitar because it fizzes after vocal as well. So it plays a bit of audio vocal out the speaker and then stops and goes like a weird fizz.
Yeah, okay.
So I still actually haven't figured out what the problem was.
Oh, right, okay. I was waiting for like, it turned out. So they just swapped the speaker?
I swapped the speaker, I swapped the mixer, I swapped cables, I swapped power, and what I think it was a power thing.
It could have been the guitar battery because it does
No,
I think
it was a venue power thing.
It could be, yeah. I mean, I did a party not too long ago. Never had the problem since. Just at this one party was the equipment kept overloading the power in the venue and literally just going off. Yeah. Like my whole system would go off. Like everything.
That happened to me at Colby on Saturday.
Really?
I think there might have been a bit of plug daisy chaining going on behind the scenes.
Right.
And then I'm plugging one. I only had one big speaker.
Yeah. Is this out in the tent?
Yeah. And they draw a lot of power.
Yeah.
It's the other big speaker I've got from the one I used last night because I hadn't troubleshooted that one to figure out if it's actually that.
Right.
I basically need to get into a room and set all my stuff up
100%.
and test and check every single piece of equipment now, which is a ball ache.
I know.
But I kind of also want to do it to mess around with some pedals and stuff as well.
You need a lab environment.
Yeah, I need an empty session room somewhere.
100%.
Like I might just hire a pirate.
Yeah.
One of the big pirates and just take
100%.
all my own rig in.
Yeah. Definitely take your own rig.
I've done band rehearsals in pirates.
I don't want to badmouth the pirate because for the price, it is, I guess, really good.
And I think they've probably, from them being accessible and pretty cheap and pretty well spread around, they will have done something to give small bands a chance
100%.
to play
They
somewhere.
They also look good. I mean, I've seen some people even filming music videos.
People have done I've seen show reels in there.
It's mad, yeah.
But I think from a musician's perspective, if you see a show reel in a pirate studio, which is so obvious because it's that plaster, but it's like that sort of light brown wood and black background.
Yeah.
I look at it and go, in my head, I just think cheap. I don't know why.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Immediately just think the product is cheap.
Because it is cheap.
Because what they've spent on to hire the room to film in.
Yep.
When you could have hired like an actual studio space.
Exactly, yeah. No, I've only been in there a couple of times, and ironically, that's where I'm obviously going after here.
That's why it's in our heads
for that rehearsal. But the couple of times,
Connor's going to become a DJ superstar. That's the next thing on the list.
Okay. But yeah, every time I've been in there is like something's been wrong with something. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
mate, I nearly died in one of them.
Right.
Partly my fault.
Okay.
Probably mostly my fault.
Yeah.
Don't want any lawsuits from Pirate. I had a long cable extension, sort of like one of the big 20-meter ones or whatever. Right. No, when I say it's partially my fault and then I tell you what happened, you're going to be like, no, it's completely your fault.
Okay.
The back had fallen off the plug.
Yeah. But don't worry, it's Pat tested.
Imagine seeing the Pat test sticker on the back of the plug that's detached from the actual cable reel and it's just on the floor over there.
Sometimes I definitely get looks off DJs when I show up and they see like the condition of like, obviously the main public facing stuff's great, but like some of the conditions of like my sort of power cables and things at times, like I do replace them regularly when I can, but sometimes because they use that much, they do look like
they always look a lot worse than they are as well.
And like especially like if they've been stored in a flight case in the house and they're dusty and everything, and then they've got like the green Pat test sticker, and I can see some of the DJs like, that doesn't look like safe.
It says 2026 on it, but you've defo just filled in the
100%.
It was 2020 and you've added a little line on top of the 6. You can buy those Pat test stickers online.
So I've seen I've seen
Fugazi.
Like I think, to be honest, that with a lot of venues they're not that bothered, but when I've spoke to venue managers, they've said it's just to cover their back for their insurance, you know what I mean? Which is understandable, I mean, obviously, because they don't want to lose tons of money in an insurance claim because they haven't checked you've been Pat tested. But I have to personally seeing what they do in a Pat test.
And also having seen what venues that ask for your Pat testing do behind the scenes themselves.
Yep. Well, a particular venue that I won't name, a very luxury wedding venue local to here, actually in the Cheshire area. I was playing an outdoor ceremony not too long ago, and they literally said to me, I was like, where do I plug in for the ceremony? Because I was using a plug-in speaker, not battery.
Yeah.
And I said, can you accommodate for that? And they said, yeah, okay. So I said, okay. So I went there, came with my speaker.
Because you're probably 30 metres away from a plug or something.
Yeah. So I've really long extensions and everything.
Oh, shit, I think I remember this one.
Not a problem. So I go, well, where's the plug? And they go, oh, it's just through there. What through where? You got to climb through that bush, right? So anyway, I goes and like army crawls through the bush, gets to this box, opens the box, right? And genuinely, it was the most unsafe. They had like
it's like a bird's nest with small little chicks.
No, so they had like, a standard like you get in your house, like a 2-socket sort of outlet, and it was literally just hanging off the wire, but not even an insulated kind of thing. It was just the 3 sort of like live neutral, ground sort of just literally just it was hanging from them wires with copper exposed like on the wires, and literally it was just like it was just dangling. It was this thing, and I was just like, someone's gonna die at some point here, or something. Because especially when you think that's like mains voltage as well. Like if
240 volts.
If you touch that,
I plugged my extension into one of the. When I say it's not entirely my fault, I think there are some moments in pirate studios where some of the plugs are a bit dodgy. I will say that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the lights are always a bit funny.
100%.
But I plugged in a basically broken plug into it. This was maybe 8 years ago, 7 years ago, or something, and I got like shoved back from the plug.
What?
Like the shock of it literally like projected me a bit off the wall. So I nearly died in a pirate studio.
Did it trip the electric?
No, it didn't do anything.
They don't even have. So they basically don't even have circuit. I'm sure they must have circuit breakers, but the fact that happened,
like
it should have been surge protected. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. But
I think I lifted off the ground a lot
of the bands with like who play in there, obviously, which is great and amazing. But a lot of them are younger, kind of new to industry things, and a lot of them, whether it's like this whole Oasis rebel rock and roll thing, I don't know, but like a lot of them don't exactly look after the stuff that they use, and sometimes...
Well, they've started having a security guy in there now, haven't
they? Have they?
So there's always now... The Pirate used to be that there was never anyone on site.
Yeah, there was never anyone there.
That was kind of the point of it, that it was almost like storage lockers that you could go into and set up in.
100%.
And all the doors had key codes on little handles. Yep. But they basically, people, particularly the one in Liverpool on Regent Road where the Everton Stadium is, they used to just book out because you could book it 24 hours a day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So people would book it out, I don't know, 8 p.m. till 6 in the morning. And because they're locked rooms in a locked building that you have to have the code for, they just have like mad raves in there. And people just like, drinking, smoking, doing whatever. With big speakers.
Yeah, but how did they not foresee that being a thing? Like,
people just booking it out as like private, like scatty party rooms. So now they've got someone on site who like sort of I was going to say eyes you up a bit. I don't mean eyes you up, but like try to suss you out if you're like normal or whatever. Because we've come in with like for a normal band practice, we might have had like a couple of bottles of beer or something. But they've like checked what you're up to and stuff, just because people used to have like private raves.
That is insane, But
that's what Pirates is best for.
Yeah, that's
the secret. That's what you're going to today. You don't realise that you're going for a sort of a trial thing to see if you like what you're doing, but you're actually just going clubbing.
Yeah, this thing that I'm going for is like, well, I don't know what it is.
I've never heard of this before.
It's something brand new. So
coming
trademark me, not really, but like the idea.
It's not a completely new concept.
The idea is to basically have me playing, the acoustic rave kind of vibe, that kind of thing, but also a real DJ, and
as opposed to a
fake DJ. Yeah. Well, I've been to certain pubs in town. Anyway, a real DJ and like basically blending. So me playing half an hour of acoustic rave stuff, and then mixing in with the DJ. And then having live elements with the guitar on top of some of the songs.
That's the bit that when you've been explaining it makes a bit of sense. Adding sort of live elements over the top of stuff.
The main concern is obviously
I want there to be a moment where you're jeskling in the hell out of it and the DJ's playing and you're just only doing vocals.
Yeah.
Being like,
I'm just thinking,
let me see you put your hands in the air.
I'm just thinking, imagine insomnia, right? And then imagine insomnia.
Let's take a minute to go into Connor's dream world now.
Right.
Imagine the lights are low. There's lots of smoke.
This is how I see it in my head. This is all I dream about when I go to sleep, is just me being in a never-ending rave. You know what I mean? Do you know what my dreams are like? Have you seen that? I don't know what it's called. That VR game where you have the lightsaber.
Beat Saber.
Yeah. That's what my dreams look like with the lasers and everything. Anyway, so imagine, this is what I've got in my head, right? So you go into insomnia, right? And it's like, obviously we've got the DJ playing the actual Insomnia. So sick, right? So the DJ's playing Insomnia. And all the subs are like, can't
are you
get no
Are you
sleep,
going,
right?
all the subtle... Are you doing that vocal? All the subtle flavours of my mind.
No, I don't want to do that. That's cringy. No, like... There's a line of cringe, and I'm trying to not step over the... I mean, I'm definitely...
You're approaching the line.
Approaching the line. But but just imagine...
Line is speeding up.
So just imagine, comes in, the drop, can't get no sleep, right? And then as it comes in with the synths on the DJ, dun, 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 they're over the top.
Solo guitar.
I've got this mad, distorted, like delayed, like dun, 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 you know what I mean? Like, no, but you can see it in your head, can't you? And I'm just like, whoa, and everyone in the club is like, whoa, look at that. I've never seen
the other thing
like
about is Connor's going to be doing these gigs in clubs now.
In nightclubs, I want to stress, I've moved on from the retirement home,
social club.
Yeah, the social club.
So
it will work in a nightclub, though. And the thing is, have you seen on Amazon?
So you come out of doing McCooley's and that, but now you're going to go and do the
McCooley's
nightclub.
is not a nightclub.
No, I know. I'm saying you've gone away from some other types of gigs.
Yeah.
And you're walking towards even later finishes in clubs in town.
Well, when you put it that way, yeah. But the thing is, listen, I'm getting paid more. So the thing is like, it's not a pull. The clubs are not paying. Like, I think, actually, I had no idea until I was speaking to these DJs. These big clubs, have you seen how much money the DJs get paid?
I guess they've got to have some amount of following and stuff, though.
Potentially, but, like, I mean, it's more than what you'd get paid for a wedding, easily, for a whole day, and that's just for them to go on for a couple of hours. It's crazy. But the maddest thing that really shocks me is we bring all our own equipment. The clubs have their own decks.
Yeah.
All the DJs bring us like USB sticks and headphones and like that. It's crazy, But it is what it is. Credit to them.
There's pros and cons for everything, though. Like our job now, through a bit of choice and kind of having a little bit more experience, being able to say yes and no to certain different types of work based on what you want to do.
Yeah.
We've gained the benefit of not necessarily having to work so late into the small hours of the morning.
Yeah.
You're walking a bit towards that again, but also from the perspective of whether the DJ job's easy or not, there are pros and cons in every job.
Yeah.
And one of the cons, unless you are that way inclined, is that DJing is the most unsociable hours you could possibly do. Obviously, you're in clubs and stuff, so you're out being social or whatever.
Yeah. I guess.
But for that to be your job, that's hard. That's really hard.
But it's got social elements in the sense of...
But so's ours, and we find that socially draining sometimes as well, though.
A lot of the times, though, when I think we perform and you're on a stage... And you sort of, there's a barrier. There's an invisible barrier. Well,
I think that's my guitar's my physical barrier.
There's an invisible barrier unless you're playing Karen's 40th and she's had a few drinks and wants to sing on your mic. Then the invisible barrier drifts away.
Yeah.
But anyway, most of the time there's that weird social barrier. However, with this, we were talking about obviously certain times, not the whole thing. Like, because when we were playing the
going
guitar,
into the crowd,
me going into the crowd with the wireless mic, and basically, getting them all, like,
what is going on? I've never seen this performance style from you in any respect. Well, for you to now be like, oh, I'm going out into the crowd and being like, let me hear you sing it. And it's like,
neither have I. But like the thing is,
you don't know if you don't try. But
it's an evolution, and I just think that like. Those types of performances seem to be, for me, the way the industry is going. Because the thing is...
But definitely ones you see more interacted with online.
Yeah, 100%. I think that live music is on the rise because it's live, it's interactive, it's there, right? And I think that, that, in my opinion, and people may disagree, I think that this is the evolution of DJing. Like the way a lot of DJs are incorporating live sax, they've got live drummers, they've got this, because it's more of a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or even like they'll play samples live rather than it's all
like they're using like the machine. Is it
trigger
machine?
pads?
Yeah, like the like things like that. You know what I mean? And I just think like I think to me. That is the next evolution of you. It's not just you behind decks and people over there. And it's like you stand there and dance and because there is this thing of like, even though I'm not in any way comparing it because real DJs who know what they're doing, it's night and day. But you are in this world where Spotify are doing these like the pre-mixed playlists and stuff, and it's like that'll never work in a club, obviously, with requests and all this coming in. But like, you're reaching a world where I feel like they need a bit more sort of like interaction.
Well, it used to be. I guess it's kind of come and gone a bit. If you look at DJs more sort of 90s-ish, I'm talking out of school a little bit here, but you'd have like an MC that's part of the crew, and they'd be like working the crowd.
And I've noticed with wedding DJs, obviously see a lot of them, it's the best thing they do. It's the personalities. Like, they fill the room and they're like, right, everyone, can we get the bride and groom down here? That kind of thing. And I mean, I say stuff sometimes like that, but they do it in such a way that, I don't know, it's
seamless. It's part of the performance and entertainment rather than...
And they know the little bits where they duck the volume, and it just sounds great. It sounds like you're listening to Radio 1 or something.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's, and I think that I don't know, I just think like evolution-wise, I just think that is the way it's going. You know what I mean? I'm
trying to simplify my life.
I mean,
I'm going the other way.
Have you seen Fred again?
Yeah,
like those like the boiler room performance.
It looks unbelievable. But even like, so he's done some things. He's done that Tiny Desk where he's recording drumming on the desk and stuff.
It's absolutely insane.
It's I don't know. Yeah, I like that it exists. I wasn't necessarily expecting it to become part of your world or part of my world.
Yeah.
But fair enough.
100%.
Watch this space. Connor DJing in a club near you soon.
Who knows? I mean, as I say, it's just... We're going into winter, which means wedding season is gone.
This is a time of year where you think about how to progress and move forward and consolidate.
My focuses for the winter are, the social media aspect. I really want to home in on that, and really try and sort of just get it a bit more. Like, I was looking at my social media and I was like, even though I played in the summer, like probably 4 or 5 gigs a week minimum, right? I probably did like one actual post on Instagram a month.
In my head, when we were going through the summer, I'd film as much as I could from the parties I thought were going to best represent the liveliness that you can get.
Yeah.
And then from each weekend, I took the liveliest clip, basically.
Yeah.
But there was other gigs, other parties, other dancing 100%. That you could have put out there.
Yeah.
I think I need to do it as well. There's got to be sort of scheduling and getting into a process of stuff.
Yeah.
With your social media.
Do you think that when you do social media posts, do you think like if you go into like say a wedding though and you're focusing too much on trying to get the content, I feel like it sometimes takes some of your concentration and energy away from actually doing your job in a bit, and that's where I'm trying to find this balance of like, I don't want to, that thing where it's just setting the phone up on the tripod, that's great, right? But then people are saying like, you see a lot of these people, and sorry for the terrible impression, but you see a lot of these new kind of musicians and come spend the day in the life with me, like as a musician, playing your wedding, and then they do like this like montage of like, oh, here's me wheeling in me speaker into the venue. And
it's funny because those bits of content do well online generally.
They do well.
But I think it's weird because I don't think that. Who's asked?
Do
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It works, but I don't know why it works. I guess it's seeing behind the scenes and it's interesting from a technical perspective. But maybe does that make you more likely to book someone? Or is it just that those videos help people grow and then having more followers is making you more likely to book someone?
If you're a potential client and maybe like you go, you know what, like they look really organised then. You know what I mean? Like from a behind the scenes standpoint. No one wants to see my behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean? No one wants to see me like,
untangling loads of stuff in your car.
Pressing me snooze button 7 times. Like, oh crap, I've got to be at the ceremony in 20 minutes. No. But like
all said in jest, he's very professional.
Yeah.
Take none of this seriously.
Yeah. But like as I say, like, but on a serious note, like, it does kind of take away when when you're loading in and stuff like that. First of all, I've got to get over this cringe factor. I know everyone's doing it these days, but this thing of like, like walking around the venue when there's other people there, like, so hey guys, I'm here today at Sutton Hall or whatever, and it's like, and it works, but that's what annoys me is I know that if I did more stuff like that, my following would grow probably.
The one thing that changed my social media quite notably was when I was showing me and my face a lot.
That has done a lot for me as well. Yeah.
As soon as you're able to get over that initial there's a few cringe hurdles along the way, and I'm stuck in the middle somewhere. I've got over a few cringe hurdles, but I'm still definitely feeling cringed about some content I could be putting out that I'm not putting out.
Yeah, 100%. Like, as I say, I've got this weird balance where I don't mind talking to camera, I don't mind showing me face, I don't mind doing this, but then there reaches a level where then there's some people that, like, I just see.
They must have the thickest skin in the world to be walking through a party, talking to the camera, and not noticing that other people. Maybe it's a British thing, I don't know.
I don't know. It's crazy, but also it just works. So I know at some point.
I think it also gives off confidence as well if you're at that point where you can just. The weddings are so sorted and you don't really have to get out of a certain gear to be able to perform well.
Absolutely.
That you've got the headspace to 100%. Be able to be calm enough to do those kind of videos. I think it gives off confidence, doesn't it?
Exactly. And it does. I mean, the vloggy things do work because, I mean, like, I've noticed, like, sort of people have come up to me at a gig and they've said, like, oh, like, are you okay? And I don't know these people. First time I've met them in my life, except for, sort of an exchange on whatever, to book me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you okay? And I'm sort of recognize them from the photo, like, and
they
come over and they're like, oh, and they give you a big hug. And you're like, I don't know who you are. And then
this is my personal space, thank you.
And then they go, oh, I seen you were there last week, and you were there, and it's like
they know your story, and you're like, I'd forgotten about that.
It's weird, isn't it? And it's like it's a bit weird. Like
I feel so bad. Anyone who's ever come up to me and been like, oh, hi Harry, how you doing? I've kind of looked through you a little bit because I'm trying to figure out who it is.
Please,
and it's someone's party or wedding that you did a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever it is. Yeah. It comes across. I mean, I feel like it comes across so obvious that you don't know, and I'm just
I don't want them to stop because personally, it's amazing just to feel the energy and the excitement. You might and I love it, but it is also just weird, not bad, just weird. You know what I mean? And like, this is what I've noticed is like, a lot of people, as I say, when they know things about you personally and your life that
you've been on holiday or anything that's a little bit behind the curtain that you weren't sure that you'd made public to everyone.
Like, imagine you walk into a bar, and there's just a stranger next to you at the bar and you go, oh, how was your trip to Spain last week?
That's me in Oxton Village and Alex hates it.
Like that's what
I can't walk around Oxton without being like, sapling.
That's what I mean. And it's crazy. And then when it's amazing when you get the thing, when you go to a gig and they go, you played my auntie's, dog walker's son's, 18th birthday last year and you were amazing. And it's like, okay, I had one literally a couple of months ago where I did a corporate event, and one of the ladies who's a manager in this company, she literally said to me, she was like, "Oh, you've been amazing, thank you so much. I'll see you next Saturday." And I was like,
"Oh no,
will you see me next Saturday?"
So I was like, "Oh, you're playing my mate's thing," and you're like, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
And she was like, "I'll see you next Saturday," and I'm like, that's weird. Like, I was like, maybe she was talking. So my initial reaction was like, it's a company event. Maybe she's talking to somebody like past me, like, oh, I'll see you next Saturday. Not to me. You know what I mean? Like, she's saying it to someone else.
So you assumed it had nothing to do with it.
Next Saturday comes around and I'm playing a gig at a wedding, right? And then she comes up and this sounds bad, but I didn't really recognise her because, people dress very differently at weddings, and she come up and she was like, hiya again, Connor. And I'm like,
who the fuck is this?
And then she's like, oh, and then she was like, you played my company thing last week.
It wasn't her wedding, was it?
No.
Okay.
It was her brother's wedding. So,
okay,
so anyway, She was like, you play my company retreat, last week. And then I was like, oh, yeah. And I must have looked so ignorant because it was only last week. How can you not remember this?
Yeah.
And she looked dead puzzled.
But it's context as well.
Yeah,
it's always context. I had one recently. It's thrown me a couple of times lately where it's been a parent or a best man or something of a bride and groom after the wedding in a different context. So... For example, this weekend on Saturday, someone's pulled me aside and was like, "Oh, you were fantastic at so-and-so's wedding."
Yeah.
I'm her dad. And it had been like the father of the bride at a wedding I'd been at, but he's at a party where you're not dressed in wedding attire, you're dressed in just normal clothes at some pub or whatever it was. And I'm just like, oh, I'll
tell you,
sorry,
a fun game at a wedding when the bride books you is find the groom. Who is the groom?
Yeah.
And all these guys are coming over. Hi, Connor, you okay? Not saying I'm the groom.
So
they come over and you're
so you go, you don't know because I normally go be like, oh, congratulations, hope the day's going well. But if you say that to the wrong, and then you look like an idiot.
Yeah, and also if there's anything you just want to ask about the wedding or something, inquire about or something, like, am I okay to just move this?
A table or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, obviously you go to venue coordinator, but if they're not there, normally you just, if it's a quite chill thing.
Yeah, if you're talking about where you're setting up with the bride and groom,
you just speak to the groom. But it's like, who is the groom? And if all the groomsmen are dressed similarly, you know what I mean? It's like there's got
and the only difference is one of them's got like a white pocket square or a white bow tie,
you know what I mean, or some kind of thing. And then it's
I always have different watch on.
I always have this problem because I don't know about you. Like 90% of people who book me are girls, like women. I guess that's just because when it comes to weddings, they like to be quite like,
probably in control of it.
In control of the wedding, which is fine. I mean, amazing. It doesn't have to be that way, but in most cases, from what I've found, it tends to be even when...
I think it's 80 to 90% is female inquiries.
When I'm on the phone to a groom, he basically just goes... Well, I'm not the boss. I don't know. I leave it all up to her. Like, he's like,
Hey guys, hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. Please remember to go and follow us online, TikTok, Instagram, all those places. Like and comment on this. You can book us for any private parties, events, weddings, whatever it is. Drop us a message on our socials. Come see us live. We're playing every weekend around the Northwest. Let's get back into the episode.
Just basically, I had one amazingly, right? So I've got a wedding next year in Edge Lane in Liverpool, right?
I thought you were going to say Mallorca then.
No. And I was on the phone to an amazing woman that's getting married. So funny, like the funniest phone call I've ever had for a wedding thing. And she literally was just saying to me, I was like trying to be really professional, like, so, have you got like, any songs you definitely want me to play, family favourites, all that? And she's like, I'll be honest with you, Concha, I'm not bothered. She said, like, I didn't even want to do any of this. She's like, I just would have been happy just going and signing, like, you know what I mean, the thing. She was like, but me mum, she was like, me mum wanted me to have this big wedding. She was like, so we've decided to go ahead with it and have a big party. And she said, but to be honest, she said, I don't really care what you play. She's like, just do your normal thing that you do and all that. And I was just like, are you sure? You're paying me quite a lot of money
to just crack on.
To just do whatever.
I like that though.
I know, it was amazing. I said to her, honestly, this is so refreshing because you definitely get the other end of the scale of people who are like, this is exactly what I want you to play at this time. And I think the balance.
People, it's uncommon for, I guess. Again, we're talking about like what percentage of inquiries are certain things.
Yeah.
Mostly female inquiries. That's just how it seems to go.
Yeah.
People who book you because they've seen you before or seen you live or something, you've played some other party, tends to be quite high. Like, as much as we're talking about people don't, it's mad that some people don't have social media for their music business.
Yeah.
Our job's still quite a lot of word of mouth and seeing 100%. You in person.
80-90% of my bookings is Instagram.
Yeah, but what I mean, the thing behind the scenes there is that those people have seen you in person.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's still an old-fashioned way of winning work.
Because they see you and they scan the QR code or whatever.
That's just a way of communicating.
Yeah, exactly. And then and then they book you or whatever. But yeah, I mean,
the amount of people who book you who've never seen you is thin, right? It's a much smaller percentage.
Yeah, definitely. Which is why the public gigs are so, like you've been saying to me, because I'm in this weird crossroad of like, do I just stop the public gigs and just do the privates? Because I'd make enough money to pay my bills and get, and have a good standard of living if I just worked 1 or 2 days a week doing the privates. I could easily do that, and I'd be working like 5 hours a week, and and that's great. But then if you stop the public gigs, the gigs stop. The privates do stop.
It's the bloodline behind all of it, I think.
Exactly, and that's where the issue.
It's how you keep current in people's head as well. Even if they've booked you, they might book someone else at some point. And if that other person's still playing the public gigs and they're knocking about the local towns and villages, then they're going to be in people's heads more than you are.
And also, like, I reckon I've got about a 50% hit rate at the minute of doing a public gig leading to an inquiry. Not a booking, not necessarily a booking, but an inquiry.
A lot of people asking how to get in touch, whatever.
Yeah, 100%. People come up after all the public gigs and say, like, do you do weddings? Or we're getting married in, like, 2036.
And that's because we've been deliberately trying to set ourselves apart a bit by improving our performance
quality.
Isn't
it mad, though, that people know, and I don't know how, I don't know, maybe it's the sellers, I don't know, but people know now, like, they come up and they go, are you a wedding singer? Like, they just know that
because the quality's at a certain level.
Maybe.
The style of music's at a certain level. Maybe. It's bigger than most. The sound that we work with is typically bigger than most pub singers' sound is.
Maybe,
a lot of acoustic guitarists.
I think that the quality of the equipment we use as well is like, I rock up and a lot of the sort of the people on before and after me at just the standard pub gigs are like, oh my God, you know what I mean? They're like, those pedals.
Well, I like turning up to venues where there's a DJ on.
Yeah.
And they've booked the DJ to run the whole night. Yeah. And I'm only coming in to do an hour and a half.
Best thing
and I've
ever.
got 10 times the setup. And I'm setting up my own lights and shit just to be a
funny,
singer.
I know. Like I've had people say to me like with the pedals and that, like just music enthusiasts even in the crowd, like, Jesus, mate, like you're in a bar, like, you know what I mean? Like, not Wembley. Like, some people have said, like, those pedals are worth more than like a used car. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because when you put the whole rig to, it's got to be a lot of money on it.
Multiple thousands.
It's got to be a few grand for like the lights, the rig, everything. And as I say, and then people come up and they say, to me like, and it's amazing because maybe that's what it is, but you automatically get that respect from like the quality. But vice versa, you automatically get the expectation. Like, ooh, this guy looks like he's going to be good because.
And most of the time, you nail it.
You know what I mean? But
you got to back yourself. We're good enough.
Yeah, I suppose. But I suppose, like, but that expectation sometimes the pressure gets to me because, like I say, this has been like the past year mostly that I've been doing a lot of the private stuff and that. And the pressure is.
You have to feel your way through it.
It's
you have to learn thick skin. I've still not got the thickest skin that I would like to go and do this work without it moving the needle on me, stressing about it or not.
I'm always. I work now like
permanent state of stress.
I work 10% what I used to. I used to do like 12 gigs a week in like Matthew Street and everything. Like, and now I work about 4 hours a week, 6 hours a week, and I am infinitely more stressed because those 6 hours on the weekend have to go perfectly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Within reason. I mean, sometimes there are just a crowd of people who do not care. That does happen. It's not frequent, and often with private parties and weddings, you have people who are turning up deliberately trying to care.
Yeah,
but I'm at a point now where typically if things don't have like the most mental reaction with everyone throwing their limbs around, I've got enough experience behind me in what I do to kind of figure out that the percentage chance that it's anything to do with me is really slim.
100%, because when you're good at what you do.
Because if what I do works for the 99% of all the other gigs, why now would it be something to do with me? I have to catch myself because in my head I do go, oh shit, I've lost it, I'm no good anymore.
This is what I'm struggling with, and I guess it's a weird thing. I guess it's just like that imposter syndrome, right? And because my like thing has gone nuts of basically like I I've started out essentially like, you know, doing the bars, and I've been doing that for years, and then going up all of a sudden, like suddenly going up to like this, like these amazing manors with like, you know, all these like, you know, 50 acres of land and everything, and all sheep running about, and it's like, oh my god.
The first time you drive up to a few of them to do your first few weddings is daunting.
Yeah,
you look at your equipment in the back of the car and go,
I know, and so that's why, like, I'm still big this year on the imposter syndrome. Sometimes I'm playing these venues and I'm looking about, like, should I be here? Like, you know, I'm getting better at it now. Where, like, you know what I mean? But
we know a little bit more about our experience, and that there's quality. There's a quality discrepancy in every part of it. So
100%.
People will have performed at those venues that are 100 times better musicians than you.
Yeah.
And also 100, maybe 1,000 times worse musicians than you.
100%.
So
you know, there's always someone better. There's always someone worse.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
you got invited by whoever's booked that venue. You have a right to be there to perform there.
But I still find with these really high end ones, I am still waiting for the approval at the end of that was amazing, thank you. You know what I mean? Because you just don't want them to be disappointed, and especially the other thing, right? Is the money situation of going from the bars to these is
the
like
money being higher makes it feel more of a tightrope.
And with some of these big luxury ones, I mean, you're talking like the fee can be like over £1,000 for a for a full day coverage. It's like, you know what I mean? If they're paying that compared to a pub where you might get like £150, it basically is 10 times the amount of money. So it's like you're sitting there in your head and you're thinking, am I worth that? Like, has this performance been worth that money? You know what I mean? Because I think like that's
you basically
a holiday.
have to.
That is someone going to Spain, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For a week or something.
To try and put some value understanding behind what we do, I always find it really hard to quantify what we bring, but you can qualify it. So if you have a certain number that you're going out for that is a competitive number within the industry and you're good at your job, what you're selling, we've talked about it before, is experience and memories and stuff. It's weird to kind of frame it like that and think about it like that, but our job is to give people the opportunity to make memories with their friends and family.
100%.
By facilitating with the social lubricant of music and party and dance and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you said to someone, what would you pay to, on your wedding day, have a moment in a big circle, all screaming along to a song with your closest family and friends, loving life,
100%.
having photos and memories from that?
The memories,
What would you put on a value on that? And you say,
it's priceless. Yeah, exactly.
So double your rates.
No. Yeah. No, 100%. You know, I think that's what it is, and I think that's the most amazing part about our job, isn't it? Is that, like, when you go to these places, like every weekend, you make
the product we're selling is happiness. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
And I was thinking it's mad because I was like, you know, what was it? I made a joke the other day to one of my mates, and I was like, you know, said, considering, like, you know, I wasn't the most popular guy in school, I was like, I can guarantee I've been to the most parties this year out of anyone I was in class with.
And that's said by the least popular guy at school. I've been to the most parties. If you count the parties I've been to, I've been to the most.
Look at the statistics. No, but like
the coolest guy in school definitely counts the parties he gets invited to.
The coolest guy in school can't remember the parties. That's the thing. But like, no, but it is crazy that like we get to every weekend basically go to amazing, happy.
That rubs off. That rubs off though.
Most people, when you think though, like most people working a standard job, that's a luxury. Like not a luxury. That's like
we go to how people.
Leisure, like their leisure time.
From their other normal job.
Yeah.
We go to how they choose to enjoy themselves, and that's where we do our job.
Exactly. That's what, to me, it's like you don't really get, unless you're just really not well or you're in a bad mood. Like you don't get like you know what I mean? Like you know what? Like if you get up on a Monday morning at 6:30 and you got to go to an office and you sat at your desk and you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm here for the next 8 hours. Normally, like, yeah, okay, sometimes I think, oh, I really wish I wasn't, performing today. But when I get there and the energy's there and
you can't
immediately
do anything other than get on with it.
You can't be miserable when you've got, like, 100 people, dancing in front of you. Like, the energy is just contagious. And
you can
feel
feelings inside of, I want this to go well, I'm a bit stressed out, I'm a bit tired,
I'm
a bit this, I'm a bit unwell.
Or if you've
had
like a gig that loads of things on the way have just not went your way or something, you know what I mean? Like, you've been stuck in traffic for ages or whatever. You can be a bit like miserable, but when you get
swept
there,
away with it all,
you're just like boom, and then the adrenaline hits you. You're performing, everyone's up, you're smiling, and you just you in a way, you've got to get on with it. It's that thing of that show business. You perform and you're on stage. Everyone's looking at you to give them a good time, and there is pressure there. But 99% of the time, like. I just love it when you get to that point anyway.
When you're playing, do you get like out of body with it?
Yeah, 100%.
Because if I'm playing through a certain section of my set that's really well rehearsed, I don't have to be conscious to go, what's the next bit? What's the next bit? What's the next bit? Because it's rehearsed. It's like, in me. I can kind of observe the gig from above myself a bit.
100%. Yeah.
I almost in my head live in what the video's going to look like afterwards.
It's like a trance. A bit. Not
it's a bit meditative. It's weird because it's like a high energy It's not a calm breathing thing.
Have you seen that?
It's flow state, isn't it?
That Pixar film Soul.
Yeah.
That's what
where he starts like ripping,
and it's like, and
it's flow state,
and it's like when he's there, and it's like you enter this realm between realms of like you're just in this weird meditate, you know what I mean? And it's like I don't know, that's what it feels like to me.
We shouldn't have had those wee brownies before we started.
And then when he hit you with the smoke machine, it's transcendental.
And it all comes back around to Connor playing in clubs this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, but as I say,
well, that's the one thing I always going back a bit on being able to kind of like switch into that gear to just perform.
Yeah, it is a weird change as well of when you don't work Monday to Thursday, which I'm dealing with at the minute because in the winter I'm like I've got tons of privates, I've got tons of gigs on the weekends. I mean, what's weird, right? Here's a weird statistic I worked out. My entire weekends are fully booked, right? Rest of the year till Jan 1st, right?
Yeah.
Fully booked, and yet I've only got 6 public gigs.
Still,
like, it's fully booked in the weekend and only 6 of them.
Well, I thought I would be able to go back into the pubs more over, particularly October, November.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Christmas gets a bit busier again with corporate or private parties knocking around Christmas time. I've had to, unfortunately, reschedule loads of other things in October and November to try and... I've barely done any pub gigs. I've done a few more this weekend, gone.
Yeah, sorry, go on. No, because I've had way too much caffeine this morning and just my brain's like, boom, like a firework. I did that gig. I want to talk about this gig following Ukebox.
Yeah.
So,
what was the venue? Because it looked like looked a bit like Punch Tommy's inside or something.
Yeah, it's called The Vault or something.
Where is it?
It's in I don't know.
So it's like an hour away.
It's in Wales, so like
okay.
I want to give you, I'm not
you don't want to pronounce it wrong.
That's me, cancelled. Anyway, anyway, so basically, so really cool venue and stuff. And
what was the event?
So right, this is the thing. I don't know. Basically,
was it a birthday party?
No. It was something pertaining to Dubai. That's all I know. Right. I don't know if someone was going to Dubai, someone had come back from Dubai. I was
just celebrating Dubai.
When I got there, there was nothing anywhere about Dubai, so I don't know. Like there was no.
It's like seems like a leaving party or something.
Maybe I don't know. It was weird, but like anyway, it was chocker. Anyway, is the point. It was like wall to wall rammed. So like he gets there and essentially this is booked through an agent and. The agent, essentially, he was trying to book Ukebox, who are great, I'll talk about in a minute, and basically, big sort of, I don't know how to describe Jukebox. A boy band. Well, this is what they describe as like a boy band with ukuleles.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like
very lively, upbeat. Do like 4-part harmony.
100%.
They use an SPD as well.
Exactly,
don't they?
do. Yeah, they've got like a ukulele bass, which is like sick.
Uke bass.
Yeah. So anyway, so they, as I say, I don't know. That's the only way I can describe it. Really,
they're really good. Very tight performers.
Very good musically, like very good musicians. And basically, anyway. They, for whatever reason, I think the next day they had another booking or they were going somewhere.
They needed to have the earliest slot.
Yeah, they needed the earliest slot, which means like they needed someone on after. And the agent says to me, he's specifically asked for you by name because, like, obviously when I go there, I crank the stomp and everything.
Yeah, you go wild with it.
I'm one of the only people who play that venue that uses like a stomp and things and stuff. So anyway, I've always got them all up, raving and all this. And he was like, he thinks you're the perfect fit, whatever. Like, so basically, Jukebox, this big 4 or 5, I don't know.
It's 4 of them, isn't it?
Four-piece like sort of band essentially is on, and they're doing like 7 till 10 or something, and then I'm on 10 till 1, right? So I'm like, okay, so it gets down there an hour early, and it goes in, and even though like I've seen Jukebox around, I've seen them on social media, I've never heard them live, so I goes in, and then like I'm like, oh. Like, this is going to be challenging. And I remember being on the phone to you, like, I send you a message, like, I'm panicking here, because I'm like, they were playing every banger imaginable, unbelievable. Like, honestly, the set list was amazing. They were just ripping through songs every 20 seconds, and I was like, this is half my set list. Oh my God. Like, what am I going to do? So, like, this is the thing about when people do that, is like it sounds great.
You burn material so
great,
fast,
but you go through songs so quick.
That's why I've slowed some of my mashupping down a little bit, because some of the dance mashups it's even literally just one line of lyrics from a song, and then the next one, and then the next one.
Like Hey Baby, you just literally just Hey.
I've played more of that, but I mean even like I do a bass hunter tune in the middle of. That Cascada one, and all I do, and all I ever wanted was to. Okay. So I'll throw in like just one line
into Pretty Green Eyes.
Yeah.
See, imagine doing that with a DJ. No, right? So,
so you're waiting to go on Jukebox and ripping it. You're looking at it, going, "I've got no songs left. These are 4 lads all in harmony."
Exactly. So I'm in the green room, right, backstage. And you can see from the entrance to the green room, like the back of the stage and the crowd.
You can see it, watch it a little bit.
I'm seeing them, and everyone's like, duh, 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 and I'm like, oh, how am I going to follow this? So anyway, I just get up and I'm like, right. Now, the one advantage I had, which like...
They hadn't been cranking the stomp.
They didn't need to, because they excel. Right, so here's the thing. If you look at like an EQ balancey thing, right? So they had that much going on in the top end, like the vocals, the ukes and all that sounded really lovely and angelic and nice, because they had all that. That pushes
the music on enough that they didn't use the SPD to really beat.
The low end beat as much. They did use it sometimes.
They could have.
But they didn't need it as much. Because
also, we exaggerate it because one of our 3 things we can do is sing, play guitar, or use the SPD.
Right.
So they've all got to be pretty prominent in a mix.
It's 50% of my entire performance. At the end of the day, it's like, you wouldn't book a DJ without subs, would you? I mean, it's half of like, and
half the battle.
Yeah. So like, anyway. So anyway, they finish and they go down really well. And I said to them,
Connor's stressing out, texting me, saying, I don't know. I just text him back going, you go do your thing, Connor.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sitting there thinking, is it too late to call in sick when you're already here?
Already plugging your guitar. I've got a bit of a tickle.
God, So,
sorry, I'm coming down.
Yeah, so I'm just getting onto the stage. I'm just stuck in traffic, so...
behind someone at the bar.
Yeah. So anyway, I get up, like, and it was the first time in a long time I've been quite nervous following a band.
And you're in a pub setting as well, so it's kind of as home turfy as it can be.
100%. So anyway, I get up and I, does what any person would do in my position and puts the stomp pedal on 11.
Yeah.
And basically, not only the stomp pedal on 11, I also had like the
guitar dripping in effects
delay
and stuff,
and chorus. I was like, oh, you know what I mean? It sounded like, I don't know, like just, aliens have landed and like, anyway. So,
you playing the Doctor Who theme tune.
Yeah, broke out the theremin on the microphone. Yeah, so anyway, so I get up, right? And
what's the first song you played?
I Will Wait, right? And this is the amazing thing, right? Because obviously the reason I start with that most of the time is it's a very stomp heavy song.
Yeah.
But it's not a like ravey. It's like it's
like a let's get going sort of.
It's got the heavy stomp, and basically, so I start, and I'm obviously playing like I don't start with the stomp, so obviously just start with the guitar singing, and then and then as it comes in with the big drop, and nobody was expecting the stomp like to be like boom boom, But obviously I did it once a sound check, but when it came in, as soon as it came in, like everybody's just like and then jumping.
It's mad how much of a cheat code the SPD is.
It's crazy, man.
I do get why some singers have had issue with them when they started taking over.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I think it does dumb down what we do somewhat from a technical musical perspective. I play less complicated music now
100%.
because I can use the stomp to get people dancing. Whereas
100%.
previously I would have maybe tried to make up some of that performance gap with a solo, with
to the
layering.
Point where you can literally get on stage with no guitar, right? And you could just go dun dun, and all you have to do is dun 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 dun, with your voice, and everyone filled the dance floor. You don't even need the guitar; you could just do that. You know what I mean? And this the thing is like, but I'm gonna put a flip side on it. As I get why a lot of people don't like it, but at the same time, the thing about a guitar is that like it obviously it's very rhythmic, it's very kind of like whatever, but it obviously most people dance to a beat, right? And the thing is like
there was a thing for a while that was a sort of mid ground where people would drum on the guitar or play upstrokes or whatever it was.
Like there was the when people syncopated, like 100%. Like Jerry.
Oh, you've seen the drummers, you've seen the guitar drummers that came around sort of. Early,
I wish I could do that.
Mid-2000s, all that kind of stuff.
Unbelievable, playing all the weird harmonics in it. Oh, mate, unbelievable.
Andy McKee, was that the first video?
Maybe.
On YouTube of someone getting really famous doing that? Newton Faulkner's did it.
So amazing. But yeah, so like, anyway, with me, I think like, and bit of a weird, I was looking into this, it's like evolutionary thing with humans, like when we were like sort of tribal people, like
first music was drums,
and it's rhythm, and rhythm is like
primal.
There's something about our brain, and here's another Connor doesn't know what he's talking about, but he's gonna roughly try and explain. But basically there's something about like the human brain or something with timings, like with rhythms, like especially like.
But it's everyone to feel like they're existing in the same thing at the same time, because there's a concrete moment in time where we're all agreeing that the beat falls here, and we can all
the mathematical blah 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 of like the rhythms, the way that obviously if you've got 4s and then you've got 8s and mathematically they perfectly fit into each other. There's something about the maths of it in your brain that basically just feels really good easy. And you can dance and whatever. And to me, like, I just think it's not the stomp pedal that makes everyone it's just the simple boom, boom, boom rhythm that basically, you know what I mean? It's just, I think that's what people like, because when you walk down, say Matthew Street, right, on a night out, and you've got 2 bars, right? You've got one bar, and some guy's just sat there with his acoustic guitar, and
might be like, playing cool interesting music.
Yeah, he's like, "Where are you?" Whatever, right? He's just like
cool and interesting.
Yeah, so it's like edgy, And
I was meaning more like John Denver B-sides.
Okay, fair enough. He's playing, Harvest Moon, nice, right? And it's like, okay, amazing, that's great. But next door, you know, it's like boom,
Someone's playing Tell Me Mama with
and everyone's like,
floor.
no, what pub are you going to go into after a couple of drinks unless you're really depressed? You know, like at the end of the day. So like the way that I see it is, I get it. I get why people are drawn to it. People are drawn, especially after a couple of drinks, to energy. Yeah. And I just think it gives out more energy with the whole stomp and just the dynamic range and whatever, you know. That's my personal take on it. And it's so funny because a couple of years ago, people started getting the stomps, and I used to like be like, oh, I hate those people with the stomps. Do you know what I mean? Because I used to be like, they're such a nightmare to follow.
Yeah.
And now I'm a nightmare to follow because now I don't only just have the stomp, I've got the stomp, I loop my chords, and I've got a distorted lead guitar going over the top with about 20 like parameter effects going on at the same time. And, you know, yeah.
And while it kind of continues to complicate things, I'm going back down to more simple things.
Do you know what it is, though? Is that there's beauty in the simplicity of just the guitar and the stomp, and I love it, and I still do gigs.
I've lent much more into it being the choice of sing-along moments and stuff, rather than like
100%. And it genuinely works, but there's just something, maybe it's just me and maybe no one else cares, like maybe it's just me as a musician, like and a lover of audio and stuff, but to me, when I have the moments and it's like all spacey, and if I've got the in-ear monitors on as well, and it's just like, do you know, and it's like if I close my eyes for a sec, it's like if you're playing Born Slippy, right? If you're playing Born
Slippy. Come back around perfectly to tie the whole story
that's it.
together.
It's like a neat bow, right? We'll finish on Born Slippy again. It's like, if you think about Born Slippy, like when I'm playing it, if I close my eyes and it's just like, you know, I've got the in-ear monitors on and it's like I'm playing the chords with all the you know, just the nice, and then I come in and I'm like, boy, you know, and I come in like with the effects on the vocal and everything. I could be playing on stage in Wembley and it wouldn't sound any different because you're in ears anyway. And it's like, to me, having all that spacey stuff, it's a spiritual experience, you know what I mean? Like, I can only amount it to being on, like, you know,
Class A
just
drugs.
Class A crack cocaine. You know, like, I mean... Not that I have lots of experience with that. If you book me for a wedding, I'm not going to show up to play your wedding. Like
off his balls. Connor seems particularly high energy today.
It's a good wedding menu. This, isn't it? You know, they got some great mushrooms growing outside.
The BPM's just like fall to the floor. You're playing Champagne Supernova at 250 beats a minute.
You just play the afternoon drink ceremony. Oh yeah, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, but you know, as I say, no, to round it off anyway. But for me, that's where I do find the extra 20-25 minutes of setting that equipment up for me is just worth it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, the stomp set like it's sort of created a genre in itself, didn't it?
100%. Anyway, this weekend, where are you?
I've got a little bit of time off.
Oh, that's right. So you do.
Again.
Yeah. Lucky for
I am playing a wedding on Saturday, but it's family friend's wedding, so it's a nice, straightforward one.
Could be Danny Jones. He's off for a month. See that?
Is he?
Yeah. He's gone to some island in the middle of Scotland that doesn't have any signal, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I like the sound of that.
He just said, like, I'll be back in a month.
Good lad.
He posted a thing on top of the bridge of the boat, right? And he was, like, on the balcony. And he went, any more booking inquiries, you know, just give me a little push. And I was like, that's not a good way to word that on a photo where you stood on the... just give me a push, you know. But anyway...
I'm away for a few days. Got a family friend's wedding on Saturday, and then straight...
Oh, so you're a guest?
Evening guest, but playing at the early bit of the evening.
So you're not a guest? Yeah, okay, yeah. You're a working guest.
I'm a working guest.
I'm
done by 8:30, 9 o'clock, so that's...
Right. Do they know you're playing?
What do you mean? They booked me.
That's boring. Like, I was thinking you might have done like a sing and waiter situation where, like, you're just a guest at the wedding.
Yeah, but then they'd be like, why is one of the guests that we've invited serving food to people?
Oh, yeah. No,
fucking idiot.
You just walk... No, right, you're walking back...
Harry, why are you wearing
You're walking back from the bar with your pint of Guinness, you know, and then you fall over. And it's like, oh, and then you,
like,
pull out the wireless mic. Do you know what I mean? And you're like,
rolling
for a while it was rough. Lately I've been doing better. You know, do a backflip onto the stage and your tux falls off.
Benson Boone gear, yeah,
100%.
Someone said to me this weekend, "Has anyone ever told you look like Benson Boone?"
Yeah.
Shove it up, yeah.